Hi guys, thanks for joining me and welcome to my channel. This is your reading for Pick a Card. It's the Pick a Card channel and we are taking a look at messages that you need to know right now regarding your situation, your life, what's coming up for you. I have 3 different options and I chose different decks because I wanted each option to have a range of possible explanations. So we have the Ellis Tarot for number 1, and the deck on top is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, and I picked from the same deck for all 3 options a few more cards. And this is the, what is it called? It's the Healing Light Tarot, and for number 2, and then we have for number 3 the Dolly Tarot. So I'm going to set number 2 and number 3 to the side, and then we'll just get right into number 1, important messages that you need to know right now. And I wanted to start off with the Dreams of Gaia Tarot number 1, and since I picked this card first, it's going to come from the bottom, okay? So this is a general energy for you, for energy that you need to know right now. So this is actually the Death card in this deck. It's number 8, but this doesn't follow the traditional tarot order. So this is change and transformation, and within the egg is a baby already being born. So something is already being born after something has ended. So that cycle of regeneration, is already happening, and what you need to know about that is that when this card comes up, it's not just destruction leading to an ending with no outcome. Something else is being regenerated and born from this situation. Something else is coming through from the ending of something else, right? So one thing is being born from the end of something else. And then we have the 10 of water, which is a very happy thing that is coming through in this situation. We'll get into the details in just a second. So whatever is coming is going to bring much happiness and joy. We have the King of Wands, a Sag, a Leo, or an Aries, secondary transits in fire as well. Very fiery person. Somebody's coming into their own. Somebody feels a lot of energy. They feel a great deal of energy and strength and vigor in their life. And then at the center we have the 7 of water. This has been a card that has come up for a lot of the readings. Now, just know this is kind of timeless. I don't try to make it too specific, which means you can watch any time. But at the time of filming, 7 of water has been everywhere, which is kind of memories, reminiscing, seeing the possibilities, seeing the hope. And then we have the 7 of air. And so this is a guide that's coming to point a certain type of direction. An inner voice will call out to you and tell you which way to go. And then we have the knight. This is called like the keysmith or something. Seneschal and then we have number 12 of earth. And our final card is the Ace of Fire, which is a dragon. So let me just see. There's going to be 2 people that are going to become very important for you in the upcoming future, in the near future. Once these people come into your life or start making an effect on your life, then this new beginning happens. So if you're watching this and you're scratching your head as to what's going on, I feel like you're supposed to experience an air of confusion or lack of sureness regarding a situation, because there is going to be a person who comes in who offers some kind of way through, like a guide, provides you with information that you need to know. And then there's going to be a second person who in some way is a keeper of the keys, which means that the key opens doors, and that can be an analogy for the fact that there's going to be a person who opens up opportunities for you that were not available to you before, and there will begin a new opportunity. I feel like there is some foreshadowing going on here right now, which means that at the current time you might be feeling like you're being shown the way, a lot of opportunities, but for some reason your way to those things is not quite clear, your path. And so you're maybe feeling confused about how to get to those things that you're being teased with. The world is showing you these possibilities, but you don't really have a way to them. And I think that you feel as though they're a bit of illusion, like they're hard for you to attain. The reason it's like that is because these two figures need to come into your life and impart with you some information, and somebody is going to give you an opportunity through which you will walk through and attain these things that you're being shown now. Okay, so let's take a look at cards. This is tarot. So we have the Seven of Pentacles. It's saying don't spend your money too much. Don't waste your time, your money. Let me see. Okay, don't spend your money, your time too much. I feel like, let's see, I'm trying to get this light better. Okay, so don't spend your money or your time too much. It needs to be invested in the long term. It needs to be in some way, you need to use what you have now in the future. And so it's time for you to kind of hold on to what you have and wait. That's a big message in this, is that you have to wait for some of the things that are being shown to you now. And I understand that might feel frustrating because you don't know where it's going to go, but I think that you're being shown the blueprint. You're being shown exactly where you will go, what you need to know in the future. And then we have the Ten of Cups, great happiness. It feels really frustrating because you are being shown something that you truly want. And I can sense your frustration in wanting to get to that where you're going, like this King of Wands energy, the perfect person, somebody who's sure about you, somebody who's sure about themselves. Maybe this is an aspect of yourself. You just want to be that person now. And this is the same card as this. So you want that happiness in your life now. You see all the pieces, but how to put them together is the question. And I think that's where you're heading into, is a period in which you're going to figure out how to put those pieces together. There's a great deal of inspiration around you now. Great deal of inspiration, giving you ideas, a lot of imagination, a lot of hope for things. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. And so I think that what you're going to do is, with this inspiration, you are going to find opportunities in order to build up your resources, build up what you have to get you going in the right direction. So I feel as though this is a time for you to observe, wait and see, take a look at your circumstances, and then with the happiness that you feel from seeing that which you want, you should use that happiness as motivation to really work towards where you want to go. Now, if you're watching this in July, for example, because I'm filming this in July, by Virgo season, Sun in Virgo, this is what this card means. This all could come in for you. Now, if you're watching Timeless, this could be when the Sun enters Virgo next. So whichever month you're watching, whichever year, this is where the possibilities are. Okay, then we have the Nine of Swords. Okay, so Nine of Swords. I feel like there is some things from the past that are still bothering you, or that are somewhat weighing on you, that you need to get rid of. Whatever you need to do to find closure with that, whether it's let go or address an issue. Sorry, there's a light right here. But whether it is to let go or address an issue, I feel like you're still in the stages of grief or letting go. And that's necessary. You've left something behind, and now you've begun something new. It takes time to adjust. You're not a robot, unless you're Aquarian. Okay, I'm just kidding. You have the Empress next, And so I feel like you need to grow into this new version of yourself. I think these visions are being shown to you. You're seeing these different things in your life come up because they're supposed to be encouraging you. They're supposed to give you ideas of which way to go and how to progress. You have the Wheel of Fortune next. So I feel like you're walking into a time in which there's going to be a lot of luck in your corner to get to you to where you want to be. And I feel like you should feel confident that those things will come for you. You will definitely have to work to achieve the things that you want, but it's not going to be overly unfair work. It's not going to be overly strenuous. It's not going to be anything that's inappropriate for you, but it will be something that you will need to use this information. You need these guides coming in to in some way incorporate them in your action and therefore produce a wonderful solution. Having an ace at the end, especially with the death card here, it's almost like full circle. Something is ending, something new has begun for you, a new life path. And then you have the Four of Pentacles. So I feel like maybe I do have a sense that you've been holding on a little bit to the past. So it feels like maybe you haven't been so flexible so as to move forward. That's something that I would say this is saying take care of or work on. Because if you keep on holding on to the things of the past, even if just a little bit, you're going to get tower situations. So it's better to embrace everything that's working in your life. I know especially if you've gone through a strenuous period of life in which things have been at you and you've been stressed out, I know that it can feel very like, how do you say, awkward to just trust life again. It's only natural to kind of watch over your back, especially after strenuous time when you've been triggered or something. But I feel like that is doing you an injustice, because you need to think of the way, like think with your mind how those threats are not there, and that you don't really need to react with your reptilian brain, that you can kind of think about, okay, I got out of this situation, I've left it behind, I don't really need to have my walls up now, and it's actually disadvantageous for me to do so because there's opportunities around that I'm shutting out because I'm still, feeling the threat. We have the Ten of Rods. So what this is saying is that you're going to put a lot of work into things. I think that you're picking up everything and you're moving along. You're going in a new direction. And I feel like this is very authentic to who you are. I do sense a little bit of vulnerability, as though not everything in your life is perfect. Not anyone's is, but I do feel like you're starting something new with a degree of vulnerability in your life. And so I would not take risks with other people's interjections, too much interjections. Let the doors be opened. Let things be open to you. Let things be available to you. How do I say this? Let things be open to you. Let them be flexible. The path of least resistance is your best path at this time. Okay, I hope this helps, number one. And now I'm going to move on to reading for number two. I also leave a new video at the end of the video for you to click through if you want more timeless messages. Okay, thanks, number one. Okay, so number two, you guys chose the Healing Light Tarot. Let me tell you, this is one of my favorite tarot decks. I don't use it a lot. At first it has an eerie kind of feeling to it, but then once I started using it, it really feels like Neptune energy, and it's very, very beautiful. And then I have the Dreams of Gaia, which I want to start with for a general overview for your next little while. Okay, so your first message is the Five of Air. Okay, so facing a deeper truth within yourself, you're ready to face. The reason the Five of Swords comes up, or the Five of Air, is because we've outlived something, or we've gotten close enough to the truth about something to realize that that which we've been following has been an untruth, maybe not necessarily a lie. And so in some way, you have come into the realization that something's not authentic for you anymore. You don't have to go there, and you can go a more authentic way that will cause you less suffering and people around you less suffering. You have the Six of Pentacles. I'm definitely going through that, but I choose 3 usually. So we have Six of Pentacles. Okay, so I feel like somebody has offered to you this answer. What I really feel, you are in some way coming to terms with an aspect of yourself. Somebody has offered you an experience that you went through or had with them, and they kind of self-sacrificed on some level to help you see the more authentic version of yourself. Okay, and then we have the Eight of Earth. Okay, so this is going to be 7 cards up here. So I feel like this is a lifelong thing you are learning at this time. Whatever you learn will lead you to a lot of abundance in your life. It will lead you to personal progress. So this is one of the key things that you need to learn in your life, that you have been recently taught or are learning now about a more authentic version of yourself. And then we have the 11 of Earth. So this is a Page of Earth. From this will come abundance and new opportunities. So suddenly you're not bound to the things that you believed about yourself before. Suddenly you have opportunities in new directions. And you can do them because you've relinquished an aspect of yourself that would naysay that before. Then we have 21. Which is not the World card. This has different orientations. So I feel like you're going to be creating something new in the near future, and from that you will in some way have to come up against various different tests or people looking at what you're doing and asking you about it. So the thing that you are creating will go up against scrutiny and to prove that it's a worthwhile thing. Then we have the Two of Air. You're going to have a very intense time in the upcoming future. You are going to have a very profound and intense time that will in some way be very involved in terms of your intellect and in terms of your mind. And I think that that will be something that will be a challenge in your life that you haven't faced before or very many times. So it's like a very strenuous program in school or a very strenuous job intellectually, and you are getting an opportunity to face these challenges so that you can gain skills and advantages for yourself through working through them. Let's see the next message. We have the number 20, which is kind of seeing the truth in all of this. I feel as though you're about to set off on a big adventure in your life with very challenging facets for yourself, very challenging experiences that you're going to have, with intellectually challenging but rewarding as well. And within all of this, I think that you will find a very deep truth about who you are, about what it's all about, and in some way that deep truth that you find out will be referential to the untruth that you've discovered in your life. So it's all somehow kind of connected, and then sometimes these untruths are a misrepresentation or a misunderstanding of a deeper truth. So you're getting into the heart of things. I think you'll do a lot of soul searching, but I do feel like you are bringing whatever it is that you do to some kind of new environment in which that will be tested, or that you will prove yourself in that environment. And in some way, you being released from doing something that was inauthentic is giving you an opportunity to do so. This person is whoever this is in your life is very generous, and this person is very, very special person that helps other people in need. So we have the Chariot card, And in some way, definitely, this is the Chariot represents overcoming. So you are definitely overcoming something that was a fallacy or an untruth in your life. And then we have the Nine of Wands. And so a time of reclusion, a time of pulling away, a time of doing your own thing. And I feel like you will need to incubate, you will need to kind of think for yourself and figure out where you're going with things, because opportunities are going to happen for you very soon. Then we have the Page of Pentacles, the same card as here, so possibly Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn person, but I see this much more as you in some way finding an opportunity, finding some kind of breakthrough and going for it. So, you know, there's definitely some kind of thing that you're going after. And then we have the Six of Swords. And so that will take you away from your current circumstances. So whatever you're dealing with now, I feel like you're going to go in a completely different direction. And I feel like the new environment is going to be completely separate from where you are now. And you're reconciling lessons that you were meant to learn in this space. But wherever you're going, it's going to be much more challenging. And when I say challenging, I mean like rewarding challenging, not necessarily bad challenges or difficult things. This is much more to do with you have to be at your best. So don't get so, the message, and this has come up for other readings like all sign readings, where people are being told not to really let go of things easily, because soon the direction that you're going is going to require a lot out of you, so you don't want to wear yourself out like you did, you know, with this. You don't want to work yourself up, wear yourself down with this, because soon enough there will be something that is very worthy of your time and attention that you will need to address. And then we have the Four of Pentacles here, the last card for the line. I feel like you're going to be in a very complex environment in which there's a lot of rewards, and you will need, it's almost like going from school into corporate business. I don't know how many of you guys work in corporate, but it's like you have to really be on guard. You have to really watch yourself in corporate environments and be much more conservative, or you're going to get eaten up. And so this kind of, but in some way that's where you want to go, because that's where success in your future is. So these kind of soft things, like I would conclude they were like college or high school or whatever, where there's a lot of like, I don't know, nonsensical relationships or like relationships. Everybody's sort of learning and experiencing different things, but it's not kind of, it's all formative, but it's not as important as what's going on here in this environment for you. So there's a lot of like taking chances, because there's not a lot on the line. There's not much taking chances here. The whole environment is a great opportunity wherever you're going, but you are going to have to be less open and more focused and less willing to kind of be liberal, you know, the small L, not the big one. Then we have the Six of Wands, and so that's victory in overcoming certain things. I think that you see how interpersonal things can rob you of your time. I think if you chose number 2, it's very likely you're a high achiever, you work really hard for things, and maybe you reflect that your previous time in your life has been sort of wasting of your energy. Like, how old are you now? You're all different ages, but even if you're 20 years old, you've lived 20 years on this life. Where are you now? What can you do better? And where are you kind of leaking energy, leaking water, leaking time? Like, where is it in your life that there's a lack of, you know, consistency? Like, where are you losing your opportunities? And I think you'll recognize some of that. That's what I think this is about. And then we have Six of Pentacles. This is Moon in Taurus. Six of Earth is Moon in Taurus. And so I feel like maybe the person who is involved in your situation is a Moon in Taurus, or someone who's very, very generous. It really feels like somebody has your back and is backing you up on things and is helping you go a good direction. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. Beautiful card. Okay, so page, page, page with an ace. That's definitely a new beginning. That could be a new job, but that can be new pursuits with regard to your business or business ideas. You're really starting fresh in a new direction. So this almost feels like the same people gossiping about the same things in the same way. It's so boring and it's so like passe, whereas where you're going is fresh, new, and they're definitely not talking about people here. They're definitely like what you know is where how far you go, you know. And then you have the Six of Cups. So we have 3 sixes lined up like that. And a 6 here. So in your spread, we have 4 sixes. In tarot, that's very, very lucky when you have 4 sixes in a reading. It's like assured success. Everything's going in the right direction. So I think that this is about somebody growing up. No matter how old you are, I think you're growing up. You're going in a new direction. The new environment that you're going to be in is going to be healthy for you. But you need to be healthy in it too, or you're not going to keep up, right? And then we have the King of Pentacles, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, secondary transits in fire, Sag, Leo, or Aries. There's a lot of earth on this reading, which means that this has a lot to do with money and prosperity. And I feel like where you're going will be prosperous. This could be you in the future, the king who has achieved and been very successful and strong and all of that. So somebody who has gone through their experiences and has attained a great deal of financial security and looks back on their life in a reflection phase and knows what kind of circumstances got him there. So somebody who is very hardworking. This can also mean that you're heading in the direction of someone you have a lot of good karma with. That's the 6 of Cups. And so somebody will enter your life or is entering your life right now that will bring in a lot of positive energy. And whether you've known them in this lifetime or a past life, there is a lot of karma together. I think for many of you, you've known this person in this life and there's been some kind of pause in your relationship, but now it picks up again. So it's like you're diving in deeper into life. You're getting more out of life. It's more serious, but it's also more rewarding. So number 2, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to make sure the energy is real. And if you're 18 to 24, please comment. That way we can show these readings to other people your age. Okay, so number 3, hi guys. Welcome to my channel. Let's take a look at first the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. So, and then the other one's the Dolly deck. Okay, so, sorry. By the time I read the third one, my leg's asleep. Because I sit on my hip, essentially. Shouldn't be sitting that way. Okay, so here we go. We have the Love card. These cards have different meanings than regular tarot. It's number 12, and it's called Love. So, well, the general energy is that of love, or you're bringing a lot of love in your present times. Let's see the next message. We have the 3 of Air, which is learning, okay? Learning. Something has challenged you to learn something about your life. So a life experience that was involved, that had a lot of love in it, has challenged you to learn more, to delve deep, and to pick up more information. Hold on, I picked up 2 cards. And then we have the 14, no, this is the Knight, what is that for? 24. These are not regular cards. And so I feel like you have learned something about life, and that thing which you learned has in some way elevated who you are in the world. So you had received information that made you more aware of the world, and thereby you're receiving more from it. And then we have the 8 of Water, okay? And so I feel like there's this level of, there's someone around you who is like a helping spirit, a helping person. It feels like this person knows this reality and they're trying to share it with you. I do feel as though this person may, I don't know, sometimes I feel like this person is like in some way trying to, they're trying to give you information about the thing that you've learned, but they're sort of not checking their biases. They're not checking from where they're coming from. So I think when you're dealing with other people's opinions, it's good to accept and welcome in anything anyone has to say, right? But I do feel like there is, it's important to figure out what people need to say, but also it can be very distracting when people give you their opinions, because those opinions always come through their self, if that makes sense. So be cautious. This person might not fully appreciate you for you, and so when they're giving you their advice or opinion, it might be only superficially because they just don't understand the depth of what's going on. This is the card of integrity. So I think that you're supposed to do that. I'm sorry that it took so long for that to come through. In some way, the information that somebody is giving you has been a help to you, but also at the same time, they have still failed to appreciate the depth of what it is. So a part of this information that you have grown from and are growing from is important, but it's also important to like reject it, if that makes sense, because there's a deeper truth. So don't let it distract you completely. And then you are going on a journey, my dear. You're definitely going somewhere with all this. You've learned a lot. This is a life lesson, a karmic journey. And then we have the Four of Wands. So setting your sights on something. It's time to not hold back to other people's expectations. It's time to go after that which you want. It's time to kind of figure out which way you're going, what's important for you. I feel like there's people in your life that are involved in one way or another, but you also want to keep some kind of distance and distance yourself and do your own thing. Okay, Dali Tarot. So we have the Lovers first. You'll notice that in the Dali Tarot, he uses the alternative association. So the Lovers becomes Virgo, it looks like. Some of the systems of cards use older systems of astrological association than the standard model that Rider-Waite was using and Crowley was using. But those have to do with like older forms of astrology before Uranus and Neptune were incorporated. So I'll tell you guys the story of it one time. It's kind of boring. So anyway, so we have the Lovers here. So it could have been a marriage that dissolved in the past. I'm not telling you your marriage is dissolving now, or a relationship that broke up in the past. And you learned a lot from it, and then you kept on learning from it after the thing ended and incorporating the life lessons. And then we have the Page of Cups and finding new truths about yourself. And even sometimes when you have a naysayer, let's say your ex-husband or ex-wife were a naysayer, they always were so naggy and negative towards you. And maybe a part of that was you learning and saying, no, I'm not that way, or no, that doesn't resonate. No, that's not a part of my reality. So sometimes proving them wrong becomes the exercise more so than, having them point out the criticisms. So sometimes sticking up for yourself in an intimate relationship is that process of acknowledging what you truly are. Because there's this huge element for you, number 3, of integrating the authentic. And so growing into the authentic version of yourself. And it's somehow, in a funny way, you've been guided by people that are not as deep or weren't thinking about things on such a deep level. So sometimes I do believe like you don't need to stress out about being guided by only like the smartest people and that give the most accurate information. Everything's guiding you to where you're going, and even people who have bad intentions towards you may be a part of that journey and learning opportunity. So always it's on you to draw from that the best conclusion. So I think that's what you're doing here. We have the Three of Wands. There's been a lot of waiting in a situation, and this really fits the narrative that if this is a marriage that broke up, it took a freaking long time for it to work itself out. There kept on being some kind of overlap that one person was seeking from another. But I do feel like you're waiting and wanting things to come in for you that are owed to you, that you have earned or that you're waiting for, and those things are going to be coming in now. And then we have the Magician. So once you learn, when you learn something about yourself and you feel so empowered, that's what I see happening for you. It's like you figure something out through possibly even a heartbreak in the past, but definitely a relationship that was close, and you learned some information and now you're integrating it, and it's like it's giving you purpose and you understand life so much better, and that's making you the Magician. And then we have the World. I thought that was the devil because of the couch thing. But yeah, so we have the World. So there's definitely the journey, the world, you're going somewhere with what you've learned. So don't get so caught up on the past. Where you're going is much more interesting. Where you're going is your future, and that's what you need to focus on. Okay, so then we have the reunion. So this could have been someone with whom you broke up in the past, and you have some kind of reunion, reconnection, and at the same time, you have this reunion, reconnection, and I feel like maybe it reminds you of something about yourself. There's definitely a relationship here in the past that's influencing you, and that's, I think, the cause of why you are beginning something new. Within all that, you find something important. And then you have the Star, which is the Destiny card. You're really being set free to see something by your experience with another person. And the thing that you see is so important. And the Queen of Swords. There's this also like closure and letting go. Because sometimes, like, let's say your husband cheated on you and it was really hard to break up because of all the infidelity and dishonesty in it. And so maybe it took a while for you to come to terms with that. But now that it's several years later, you're looking back on that and you're looking beyond the transgression of infidelity. You're sort of looking at other aspects of the relationship. So once your emotions are more sober, once your emotions have healed from the betrayal or the unfairness in a situation, you have the ability to think with clarity and see with lucidity other aspects of the relationship that will teach you, because that transgression was so big or so offensive, something you couldn't look at for a while. And now that there's some distance, you can look back on something with clarity and not be so obscured by the painful vision of it, the painful side. So if you are like prone to, like, let's say, not show up or cancel plans, maybe that was another aspect of your relationship with your partner who cheated on you. And at the time when you found out that they cheated, this is all an example, but I'm sure it's true for someone. At the time that they cheated, you in some way were so hurt by the fact that they cheated that you didn't see the fact that you were prone to cancel plans as being a problem. But now that there's some time in between then and now, you can look back and say, oh, that person's a jerk for what they did to me, but at the same time, I know that about myself a bit more, and now I have to integrate it and go in a new direction. So no more canceling plans. that distance creates separation and an ability to see for yourself and find closure, because you can't close situations until you look at what you contributed to them. It's impossible. You'll keep on being stuck in the same thing. So you have the Seven of Swords, leaving very fast, definitely closing the door on something, leaving fast, and going towards a new opportunity. For some of you, this is a new home. And then we have the Queen of Coins, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, secondary transits in water, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. You might move somewhere, you might go somewhere else. Shutting the door on something is a big theme, and I don't want to spoil the other options, but this isn't the only reading that had this. So shutting something on the past, yes, you learn a lesson, you find catharsis. It's a very happy awareness. Somebody from the past reaches out to you. For some of you guys, you find some new truth, new awareness, and that allows you to move forward with integrity towards new things. But you're heading off in a new direction. You're closing a chapter in your past with regard to a love relationship, for sure. And I don't feel like it's new for many of you. I believe like this is like an old ex or something that you've been waiting with for a year or two, like it's been a while. And I feel like you're shutting the door on this, and now you're definitely more clearly on your path. Like those loose ends are being kind of addressed and you're moving past them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to make the energy real. And if you're 18 to 24, if you could kindly like the video and comment, because this helps other people your age see my videos. Thank you for watching, and I will talk with you soon. Take care. Bye.